Imagine a calm day in December 1945. Five Navy bombers, collectively known as Flight 19, take off from a Florida airbase for what was supposed to be a routine training exercise over the Atlantic. The planes, manned by experienced pilots, began their flight across the vast ocean, their task simple enough: follow a route, conduct some drills, and return home. But something went terribly wrong. As they flew farther out to sea, the planes began to lose their bearings. Soon, their radio communications were filled with confusion, their positions uncertain. Then, one by one, they vanished without a trace. What happened to Flight 19? Was it simply a tragic accident, or was there something far more sinister at play? This disappearance would later become one of the most chilling mysteries of the 20th century, a mystery that would fuel rumors of extraterrestrial involvement, paranormal phenomena, and of course, the legend of the Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle, that infamous stretch of ocean between Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, has been the site of countless disappearances over the years. But Flight 19 is perhaps the most famous case of them all. Despite extensive search efforts, no wreckage was ever found, and the mystery of what happened to these brave men remains unsolved to this day. As we dig deeper into this story, we'll unravel the strange facts that seem to surround the Bermuda Triangle and its eerie reputation. We'll explore the theories, the conspiracies, and the possible explanations for Flight 19's disappearance. Could it have been something as simple as navigational error, or was there something more unusual involved? Was there a hidden force at work in this region of the ocean, something beyond our understanding? But first, let's take a look at the flight itself. Flight 19 consisted of 5 TBM Avenger torpedo bombers, each with a crew of 3. The flight leader, Lieutenant Charles Taylor, was an experienced pilot, familiar with the routes over the Gulf of Mexico. He had logged hundreds of hours of flying time and was well respected among his peers. However, shortly into the mission, something went wrong. According to reports, Taylor's instruments began malfunctioning, leaving him unsure of his position. But what was more perplexing was the fact that his compasses were also acting strangely. As the planes ventured farther into the ocean, the situation grew even more desperate. Taylor began to lose his bearings completely. He radioed the base, reporting that he was lost and unsure of which way to go. This is where the confusion began to spiral. According to records, Taylor was giving directions that didn't make sense, and the other pilots were following suit. At one point, Taylor insisted that they were over the Florida Keys, but radar and radio signals confirmed they were much farther out at sea. Even more mysterious, the pilots were unable to see any land, even though they should have been flying directly above it. As Flight 19 continued its confusing flight path, the pilots began to panic. One of the crew members of a nearby rescue plane later recalled hearing the distressing transmissions coming from the flight. Taylor's voice sounded increasingly frantic as he called for help. He told base that they were running low on fuel and that they were in danger of crashing. Yet, as the search for Flight 19 intensified, it became clear that no one knew where the bombers were and no one had any answers. By the time the planes were supposed to return to base, they had strayed so far from their original course that they were completely lost. But what could have caused such disorientation in experienced pilots? There are several theories about what happened that day, and it all starts with the Bermuda Triangle itself. Known for its reputation for strange disappearances, the Bermuda Triangle has captivated the imaginations of millions for decades. But is there any truth to the claims that something strange happens in this part of the world? Some have suggested that Flight 19 fell victim to a phenomenon known as magnetic anomalies. The Earth's magnetic field is not uniform, and in some areas, it can cause compass readings to become erratic. Could these magnetic anomalies have played a role in the pilot's confusion and their ultimate disappearance? It's certainly possible, but is it enough to explain the total loss of Flight 19? Others believe that the Bermuda Triangle might be the site of unknown natural forces, possibly even atmospheric phenomena, that could cause navigational errors or lead to planes becoming disoriented. Could there be something about the weather or the air currents in that part of the world that causes planes to get lost and disappear? And could this phenomenon be the reason why so many other flights have mysteriously vanished in this region over the years? Of course, there's always the possibility of a more sinister explanation. Some conspiracy theorists claim that the Bermuda Triangle is a hotbed for extraterrestrial activity and that Flight 19 was taken by alien forces. While this may sound far-fetched to some, there are those who point to strange occurrences and strange disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle as evidence of extraterrestrial involvement. Was Flight 19 the victim of an alien abduction? It's an idea that has been suggested by many, but there's no definitive proof. As we continue to unravel the mystery of Flight 19, we must also consider the official explanation that was given by the U.S. Navy. The Navy conducted a large search and rescue operation following the disappearance, but no wreckage was ever found. They concluded that Flight 19 was lost due to navigational errors and that the pilots had simply gotten lost in the vast expanse of the Atlantic. However, this explanation has been widely debated over the years, with many experts pointing to inconsistencies and unexplained elements in the official narrative. But even if we accept the official explanation, it leaves us with more questions than answers. What caused the pilots to become so disoriented? Why couldn't they navigate properly in an area they were familiar with? Why did their compasses and instruments fail? These questions have never been fully answered, and many people believe that the truth behind Flight 19's disappearance is still out there, waiting to be discovered. At this point, it's important to remember that the Bermuda Triangle is not just a place of mystery, but a place of tragic loss. The families of the men who disappeared that day still seek closure, and the mystery of Flight 19 remains one of the most unsettling chapters in the history of aviation. So, as we try to piece together the puzzle of what happened that day, we are reminded that sometimes the answers we seek may never come. Before we continue, if you're enjoying this deep dive into one of the most mysterious cases in aviation history, make sure to hit the subscribe button and join the Surprise Insights family. This channel is dedicated to bringing you the most intriguing, mind-bending mysteries from history, and we don't want you to miss out. As the years passed, the legend of Flight 19 only grew. Its disappearance sparked further interest in the Bermuda Triangle, with more and more people claiming that this mysterious region of the world was the cause of countless disappearances. But Flight 19 was just the tip of the iceberg. Many other aircraft and ships have vanished in the Bermuda Triangle under similarly puzzling circumstances. Were these incidents all connected? Could there be a pattern to the disappearances, one that no one has yet been able to uncover? Theories about the Bermuda Triangle vary widely, from the possible presence of underwater pyramids to theories involving time warps and even black holes. Some suggest that the area is home to a mysterious energy field that can disrupt electronic equipment, such as compasses, radar, and radio communications. This could explain why pilots and sailors in the region report strange malfunctions and equipment failures. This theory is often linked to the discovery of the famous Devil's Sea off the coast of Japan, a location with similar disappearances that have been attributed to magnetic disturbances and other environmental factors. Another theory involves the sudden appearance of methane gas pockets under the sea. When these pockets rise rapidly to the surface, they can create massive bubbles that reduce the buoyancy of ships, causing them to sink almost instantly. Could such a phenomenon have contributed to the disappearance of Flight 19? Some believe that a sudden release of gas could have caused a massive disturbance in the water beneath the planes, creating turbulence that made it difficult for the pilots to regain control. Yet, no matter how many theories are proposed, the fact remains that Flight 19's disappearance remains a mystery. The Navy's official investigation suggested that navigational errors led to the planes running out of fuel, but no wreckage was found, and the search effort was unsuccessful. It's as if Flight 19 simply vanished into thin air. The Navy's official conclusion leaves many feeling unsatisfied, as it doesn't fully account for the strange behavior of the pilots or the failed instruments on their planes. But let's pause for a moment and consider something truly eerie. Many experts have pointed to the fact that Flight 19 was not the only time the Bermuda Triangle had claimed planes. In fact, the Bermuda Triangle is often said to be the site of more disappearances than anywhere else on Earth. Some even claim that there's something unique about the energy of the region, suggesting that it might create disturbances in space and time. Could this energy be responsible for altering the pilot's perceptions of reality, leaving them lost and unable to find their way back? Could they have been disoriented by something beyond the scope of human understanding? One of the most unsettling aspects of the Flight 19 story is the eerie fate of the rescue plane sent to search for them. The rescue aircraft, a PBM Mariner, was dispatched to locate the missing bombers. But shortly after taking off, the Mariner also disappeared. No distress signals, no wreckage, just another plane lost in the Bermuda Triangle. This raises a chilling question. Were Flight 19 and the Mariner victims of the same unexplained force that has claimed so many others? Was the Triangle somehow toying with these planes, leading them to disappear forever into the sea? It's also worth noting that many of the pilots involved in these disappearances had been highly trained professionals, some of the best in the Navy. This makes their mistakes and disorientation even more baffling. Could there have been something so strange and disorienting about the Bermuda Triangle that even the most experienced pilots and sailors were unable to navigate it? The idea that an entire flight of bombers could vanish without a trace, along with a rescue plane sent to find them, is unsettling to say the least. As we reflect on the mystery of Flight 19, we must also acknowledge the emotional impact of the event. The families of the men who were lost that day never received closure. They were left with nothing but unanswered questions and endless speculation. To this day, no one knows for certain what happened to those brave men, and this lack of closure continues to haunt their loved ones. It's a reminder of the human cost behind these mysterious disappearances. Every unsolved mystery leaves behind real lives that were affected, and the story of Flight 19 is no different. But the mystery doesn't end there. As recently as the 21st century, new developments have occurred that have brought Flight 19 back into the spotlight. Some researchers claim that new evidence may finally solve the puzzle, and that wreckage from the lost bombers may have been discovered. However, such claims remain controversial, and the evidence is often inconclusive. Could we be on the verge of uncovering the truth behind Flight 19's disappearance? Or will the Bermuda Triangle continue to keep its secrets hidden from us, as it has for so many years? In recent years, many new technological advances have allowed scientists to explore the depths of the Bermuda Triangle like never before. Submersibles and sonar equipment have mapped the ocean floor in greater detail, and some researchers believe that these tools could finally reveal the truth about the mysterious disappearances that have occurred in the region. Could Flight 19's wreckage be out there, buried under the ocean floor, waiting to be discovered? Only time will tell. As we wrap up our exploration of the Bermuda Triangle and the tragic disappearance of Flight 19, we are left with more questions than answers. Whether it's the strange behavior of the pilots, the malfunctioning instruments, or the eerie fate of the rescue plane, this mystery continues to captivate the world's imagination. Is there something truly paranormal about this region of the world, or is it simply a series of tragic coincidences? Whatever the answer may be, the legend of Flight 19 will continue to intrigue and mystify for generations to come. Before we close, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss another deep dive into one of history's greatest mysteries. If you want more incredible stories like this, Surprise Insights is the place to be. Thank you for watching, and remember, the truth is out there. We just have to keep searching.